Hi, my name is Jay Prescott. I am the Executive Director of the National Association of Esports Coaches and Directors, better known as Nacad. And also, I am the Vice President for Student Affairs at Grandview University. And I am the Executive Director of our esports program at Grandview University. And it's my pleasure to be a part of this event and to have the chance to talk with you today. I just am going to give you a little background on my involvement with esports at Grand University, as well as with Nacad. And then I want to spend the majority of the time talking about how professional development really is crucial to being a successful esports coach or director of a program. So thanks for being a part of this session, and hopefully it will be valuable information for you in your pursuit as a professional coach and director, and help you run your program more successfully. So at Grandview University, we started esports, the pursuit of esports, really looking at a program back in July of 2016. We investigated and researched the benefit of an esports program at a university like Grandview, which is in Des Moines, Iowa. And it's a small private four-year university, has athletic affiliation with the NAIA, as far as our other athletic programs. And we've had a lot of success over the years in adding athletic programs to grow our enrollment. And that was part of the philosophy of why we were looking at esports back in 2016. And as we did the research, it made a lot of sense that esports would be a great addition to our campus, not only for enrollment growth opportunities, but also just being able to establish another sport that could engage our students at a deeper level and give them a great university experience. And so we launched our program at Grandview in the fall of 2017. The goal of that year was to have between 7 and 10 athletes in that first recruiting class. So we were fortunate. We were able to recruit 15 student athletes for the first year. Our 5-year goal was to be able to get to 25 athletes on our roster. I'm happy to say that in our 5th year, we are actually at 50 student athletes at Grand University, and we've had great success in recruiting students to come to Grandview to participate in our athletic program here. Now, even though our esports program reports to me as the Vice President of Student Affairs and not to our athletic director, we still treat esports just like we do any of our other athletic programs. Our esports athletes get the same scholarship structure as any of our other athletes. So our top esports athletes get the same scholarships as our quarterback on our football team, or the best player on our basketball team, or best wrestler on our wrestling team. We treat them exactly the same. We scholarship them exactly the same as well. We provide them with excellent equipment to compete, and the gear that they need to have to compete, and really try to hallmark our esports program right alongside the rest of our athletic department, and help them be successful in their experience. And so, so our experience at the university level has been nothing but excellent and good for Grand University. Obviously, we've had our trials and tribulations through those 5 years as far as a growing program, and doing what we feel is right for the student athlete. And that really brings me around to the topic of this session. The cornerstone of success is really, from my standpoint as an administrator of an esports program at the university level, And through the National Association of Esports Coaches and Directors, having worked with literally hundreds of high schools and universities that have established programs, developed programs, and now are successfully running programs, the professional development of the men and women that are getting into the coaching and directing positions of the esports programs is crucial, and it's vital to their success, mainly because it is such a young sport. And I'm going to share just again my own professional experience. My background as an athlete was in basketball. I played basketball at the high school and college level. After I graduated from college, I wanted to get into coaching. I loved basketball. I thought I knew a lot about basketball, and I decided to get into coaching. And my first entry was at the high school level, and I thought I knew a lot about the sport. But when I actually made that transition from a basketball player to a basketball coach, I learned quite quickly that there was much more to coaching than there was to playing. And even though I knew the X's and O's of basketball very well, and I had played the game at a pretty high level collegiately, there was probably 85% of the coaching experience that I had very little experience and a small amount of knowledge. But the interesting part for me was I didn't realize that until I actually got into the position of coach. As a young person back then, you know, I thought I knew more than I actually did. And I tell you that story because I have found, as an administrator of the esports program at Grandview, that I am seeing a lot of the same things, not only on our campus, but also as I interact with Nacad members from around the country, that as they get into positions of leading programs at their high school and at their university, and some of you are probably having this same experience right now if you're currently coaching and leading an esports program, whether it's at the high school or university level, that you are learning more things about yourself every day of what it takes to run a strong program. And you know, again, that's just life to some extent. It's getting into a profession that you're passionate about, and then realizing all of the work and the effort that it takes to really run a successful program. And I think we all experience that at some time as a professional coach, you know, getting into that job, you know, at a level that you want it to be a really good program. And when you do that, you start to see your own deficiencies, and you become aware of things that you'd never been aware of before. And so that's really how the National Association of Esports Coaches and Directors came about. In our first year of esports at Grandview, we saw very quickly how the director that we had hired for our program knew gaming, but that person did not have a good understanding of a lot of the other elements of coaching. And so we tried to provide for that director opportunities to learn from other coaches in our athletic department on how do you recruit students, how do you recruit their parents, how do you set up a recruiting visit, once you bring students to campus, how do you bring that group of now 50 athletes, how do you bring them together as a team and develop team unity and a team culture? How do you develop leadership within your team? How do you budget? How do you make sure that you are able to maximize the resources that you have for your program, to make sure that you're getting the most out of the money that you have available to you? And, you know, I could go on and on about the different things that our first year director had to learn that had nothing to do with gaming. But that is really why I wanted to do this session, because it's so important to have available to you as a coach that is maybe in your first few years of experience in leading an esports program, to have available to you quality professional development opportunities. And I'm just going to review a couple of ways that you can do that. Obviously with Nacad, we provide professional development opportunities, but I'll talk about that a little bit later. But I think some of the other ways that you can grow professionally, and that I would encourage you to grow professionally as a somewhat inexperienced esports coach or director of a program, is to first of all look around at your school. Okay, if you're at the high school level, spend time with your athletic director, talking about asking your athletic director and talking with your athletic director, who are the coaches at the high school level in your other sports that are doing a good job with things like leadership development, with things like budgeting for your program, raising money for your program, bringing a team culture and a team mentality to your program, and spend time with those individuals that your athletic director points out as being a leader in those areas. At the high school or at the university level, there are a few more things besides the ones I just mentioned, but that are more specific to the university level than the high school level. But things like recruiting, recruiting is critical to most universities as far as recruiting a roster size that you're responsible for. And then the other part of that is retaining that roster each year, making sure that your athletes, when they come to campus, that they are satisfied with the university experience, that they're fully engaged, not only in your program, but in the rest of the university experience, and really learning how to do that well, because those are the two things that are going to be most important to your supervisor and your administrator. They're also going to be most important to the president of the university and the CFO of the university, as far as how many student athletes you can bring in, and then what percentage of those athletes complete their degree successfully. And I would give you the advice of, again, talking to your athletic director, talking to your supervisor about who are the coaches on your campus that do the best job of recruiting athletes to your campus. Who are the coaches that do the best job of creating academic support services for their athletes to make sure that they have a good academic experience? Who are the best advisors on campus that know how to make sure your student athletes have a good understanding of what courses to pick and what majors to pick, so that they have a good academic experience? Talking to your student life staff about, where should your student athletes live on campus? Where's the best way that they can get engaged in the community outside of the esports program? Talk to your athletic director about, which of the coaches in the athletic department are the best at raising money for their program, going out and finding sponsors or partners that can help support the esports program. I mentioned, who are the best coaches as far as knowing how to recruit students and parents, and set up meetings with each one of these individuals and spend time with them. And even though you may think you know a lot about, how those things work, I guarantee you coaches that have been coaching other sports for 10, 15, 20 years on your campus will give you a wealth of knowledge that will help you go fast and go deep in your professional development, and really doing that. So the first advice I would give you is tap into the resources, tap into the wisdom and the knowledge on your campus, whether it's at the high school level or the university level. The second thing is to tap into the network of coaches and directors that are leading esports program, either in your community, your state, or across the country. And, you know, as somebody that is working with high school esports associations across the country, as well as universities around the country, every week, you know, there are new esports programs that are launched, and there are individuals that are going through the same stressors, the same tensions, the same system issues that you are. And it's so important to get connected with those individuals that are doing the same thing that you are, and making sure that you're talking to them and learning from them. And that's something where, you know, an association like Nacad can help you out. If you feel like you're kind of out on an island and you don't have anybody to network with, Nacad can help you find connections at your state level as well as the national level, both at the high school and the university level. So do not hesitate to contact us at Nacad. We'd be more than happy to help connect you to your colleagues that are in your region, maybe even connect you with people locally that you're not aware of. We have over 400 members in Nacad, and we also work closely with, you know, the 15 or 20 state esports associations that are now doing just great work at the state level, at the high school level, and just some wonderful people with a lot of resources that, you know, that we can help you with. So those would be the, you know, those would be the two things. First off, start on your own campus, tap into the expertise on your own campus, then broaden your circle of connections with people that are doing your same job, your same responsibilities around your city, your state, your region, across the country. And then the third thing, and this is where Nacad can really come in as a resource to you. You know, our Coaches Association is established for its members, and with over 400 members across the country and in Canada, we have a wealth of opportunities to engage you with people that have experience, have gone through similar things, you know, whether starting a program, building a program, running a program successfully. We'd be more than happy to connect you with those people. The other thing that we can do is we can help you. We've organized at Nacad, we've organized a lot of the services and products with partners that are just very knowledgeable and can help you make good decisions when it comes to, you know, building out a practice facility or a competition arena, what equipment to buy, you know, what services to look at. And all of that is just a free service that Nacad can offer you and currently offers its members. The other thing that Nacad has is the Nacad Professional Development Platform. And that's a platform that Nacad members can go on, and we have over 70 teaching and learning sessions of 30 minutes to 60 minutes a piece that you can take on our platform. You can learn from the sessions from some of the top coaches and directors across the country. And at the end of the sessions, you take a quiz to assess your learning. And then when you complete the quiz successfully at an 80% level, you get a credit for that class. And it goes on your electronic transcript. And then when you earn 10 credits, you get a Learning Level 1 certificate that just organizes your commitment to professional development and organizes you know, what you are learning, so you have a record of your professional growth. And that's important if you start looking for jobs in esports that you aspire to. You know, say you're coaching at a high school level, but you see a university job that is open, you know, being able to present your professional development on a transcript to an administrator like me that is hiring people is very important. And I guess what I would say in closing is, you know, you always want to make your best better, and you always want to increase your effectiveness as a leader, no matter where you're at as a professional. And the only way you can do that is by jumping into quality professional development opportunities and growing your network of support around you. And so as I close today, you know, I want to thank you for joining, and I look forward to answering your questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jay, for that tremendous presentation, giving us an idea of how Nacad works and some great advice for our followers. We do have a question for you before we take a break for about 45 minutes. Feel free to join us, everyone, for a competitive game of mini golf in team games. There is a link there in the agenda. Now, for Jay, do you have any advice for coaches that are still teaching remotely?
Yeah, I think the best thing as far as I'm assuming part of the question behind that is, just making sure that you have a network of people to talk with, to brainstorm, just to answer your questions, those kind of things. And I guess depending on where you're located in the country, there are a number of very active state esports associations at the high school level that, again, if you want to drop me an email, I can get you connected with any of those associations. The other thing is, feel free to just get a hold of us at Nacad, and we'd be happy to listen to, whatever issues you're dealing with. And that's the nice part about the association is that, the members are in the same roles that you're in. And, we can connect you with other people that are dealing with the same types of things or get answers for you and help you grow in your role. So that's really what an association is all about. It's just helping the members that are involved in it to grow and to learn and to become better at their craft.
Well, thank you so much for your time today. I know that you're very busy and you need to run. So if you have any questions, you can email him at jprescott with 2 T's at nacad.org. Also there's a networking button above that you can interact with other people on this event. And everybody enjoy your break and come back for more great sessions like this. Thanks, Jay.